Yeah, so wasn't expecting that.
I know. But also, like, the biological clock is ticking.
I was just like in the right headspace, I guess, for this book because it really struck me in a like very emotional way. I felt very just connected to the main character.
I hate time loops. They're my least favorite plot ever. Like, ever. Welcome back to Booktalks Podcast. This is Kayla.
And Marissa.
And in this episode, we are going to do a little bit of catching up, and then we are also discussing The Someday Garden by Ashley Poston. This is coming out June 16th. So currently in 5 days from when we're recording this, we will be posting this episode after the book comes out. So I was pleasantly surprised by this book, Marissa, because I hated The Dead Romantics. Literally hated it. Marissa was like, I think we should request this book and like do it. I was like, fine, whatever. And then I was pleasantly surprised.
So why I said we should request it is because this one, The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston, is a very, very popular book. And people rave about it. They rave about Ashley Poston. We read The Dead Romantics and I was like, I don't get it. I don't get the hype. Like, this wasn't for me. But since we're trying to grow, which by the way, if you're not following us, you should hit that subscribe. We're trying to grow. I was like, you know what? We got offered a copy of this new Ashley Poston book. We didn't love the first one. Let's give this one a chance. She's really popular. Maybe this will bring in some followers. And if we don't like the book, we'll just know not to read her books going forward. But I liked it. And I was like you, I was very surprised by that because I had such like an adverse reaction to this book. Did we cover this for an episode potentially?
Yes, I think it was our pre-YouTube days. So if you want our feedback on The Dead Romantics, go on Spotify or Apple Podcasts because it is on there. I actually don't have the episode number though. It's like way back in the day we did that book.
Yeah.
Wait, I see in your hand. Why do you have the other two?
So this one, The 7-Year Slip, actually shout out to Lysandra from work. She's letting me borrow this because as soon as I finished The Someday Garden, I was like, I should read Ashley's other books because I actually did like it. And this is kind of the most popular one of hers. So it's like, I should read this. So I swapped my copy of The Someday Garden with her. And I was like, just don't give this to anyone because like it's on the down low. Like you're not supposed to have it. So I think she's reading it. I don't know if she's gotten around to it. And then I took this one. And then Sounds Like Love, prior to my book buying ban, I think I got this off Pango maybe because again, I finished The Someday Garden and I was like, this always happens. But when I find an author I like, I feel the need to then buy all their books because I think I'm going to read them all right away. And then it never happens. So I actually haven't read this one yet, but I probably got it really cheap. So it's fine. It's whatever.
I am really shocked because after you bought a Kindle, for a very long time, Marissa would read her ebooks on like a really big tablet.
My Microsoft Surface Pro.
It was very large. So now that you have a Kindle, it's so handy. I don't even have mine. I have Tom's little one right here. Like, I also want to read every book an author writes if I like them. But I have resorted just to putting on the Kindle because I don't have space. Unless I really, really like the author, then I will buy them all. But yeah, I have to be like 5 books in before I commit to buying the whole series.
And I think going forward, that's something I need to adopt because it's clear from my buying habits that though my intentions are good about reading these books, I can't keep up with my desire to read them all. So, I went and bought a ton of Christina Lauren books, which is fine because I love Christina Lauren. I will probably eventually read them. But did I need to buy 8 books in one Pango purchase? No, I did not, but I did.
The worst book buying habit I had was, so we are going to talk about the deal in another episode, but I had the OG deal covers, which were just like girls, like close, but no girls' faces, but like just close up of girls' like feet and bodies. It was like they weren't cute. So then they came out with, I had the book next to us, like these covers. And the reason I really wanted to buy them was so I got the first edition, so they're all sprayed edges. Same with the Briar U ones, but all of them look so good together. So I bought the off-campus ones and the Briar U ones. First print, new editions. So not only did I have all of them, I bought another set and I bought more books. But I did go back after Tom was like, you need to sell these. And I sold the original covers.
Oh, I bet they're in high demand now.
I just didn't think they were good covers. Like, I still stand by that.
That's like that book that we both want to read at some point, but it's called Daggermouth. And we both took a look at the cover and we're like, maybe we'll wait for the new covers to come out.
I think they did. And they're not that much better, honestly. Like, I didn't really enjoy them better. I still want to read Daggermouth. I think it just might be a Kindle book. I don't think I need it on my shelf.
Or a library book, although I'm not sure my library has it. I should check again, but I know when I looked before they didn't have it. But that's also when copies were extremely limited. So anyway.
I have not been in a fantasy kick. I have been in just like my romance era right now. I just feel like it's summer. I'm like reading on the beach. Like, I don't know if I want to dive into anything thick. So I have been on a big romance kick, but we will read Morning Star this month. I promise Marissa I will. But I don't know if I'm like in the mood to dive into like Daggermouth and the rest unless we want to do it together. It's kind of my fall vibes, like fantasies for the fall. Summer is for the girlies falling in love.
It's true. Actually, I mean, that's part of why I'm going to do a Kindle Unlimited subscription. Probably a Kindle Unlimited challenge, honestly, and see how many books I can read. I mean, I was thinking 30 days, but at the very least, it's going to be how many books I can read on the beach in a week for my Florida trip. Because I'm literally going to the beach with a friend and we have no plans other than like sitting on the beach and going to dinner every night. And she likes getting in the water. I'm not like a huge ocean girly because there's sharks and scary things. You know, I'll wade in a little bit, but not far. And so I was like, I'll probably just, sit on the beach. And I was like, honestly, summer romance, Kindle Unlimited, that is the perfect time to do it.
You could really go through the whole off-campus and Briar U series. I'm pretty sure the rest of the series is on Kindle Unlimited. Let me check that, actually.
No, I as I was reading the deal, I was like, I can easily see how you would just binge this whole series because it's so fast and just, turnable. And the only reason I didn't read it in like a day or two is because my sister and nephew were over and I had other things going on. But anytime I sat down to read it, I like got through 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 chapters at a time. So it's very bingeable.
No, they're so addictive. And I actually felt the Briar U one was more addictive than the first series. No, she's just one of my favorite authors. We'll talk about this more in the next episode because we're going to record a deal episode, but I wouldn't say it's the best writing in the world, but yeah, they're just really addictive. I read her earlier work, which is even like, it's like a little cringe, but like ate up in like a day and a half, each of them. So I don't always recommend Elle Kennedy, but I love her.
I feel like now you can though, like the Amazon show, it's like, okay, well, clearly it was popular enough to get a show, so you must not be in the minority. And, if nothing else, you can read the book and then watch the show. So it's like, you can at least recommend Off Campus.
No, yeah, for sure.
A couple, like a year ago or I don't know when, but I know you have told me about the Off Campus series. Like, I don't know if we were recording or not, but like on one of these, us virtually, I know you've told me about it. So I don't know if it's back somewhere in an episode or we weren't recording, but I'm like, you're one of the OGs and you've been talking about this since day one.
No, it's so good. I remember being on vacation with my friends in Nashville and like I would leave the bar, like on the plane, I read one entire book. Like my friends made fun of me because they were all passed out because it was a 7 a.m. flight and I was just like reading. And then I just like went to bed early and I went back to the room. Everyone stayed at the bar and I just went back to read. Like it was that good that I wanted to leave the party to read. So that's my true test of a good book. But we can get more into my thoughts on that in the other episode because we're going to talk about the Someday Garden.
We do. And okay, caveat here on the Someday Garden. I actually read this, I want to say back in March because I think I was in a bit of a reading slump or I was in between things and it was sitting there and I was like, you know what? I could just use a romance right now. Like, let me pick it up. And I did. And I was genuinely surprised at how much I liked it because So for those who don't know, I guess spoiler warning, right? We should give our spoiler warning.
Yes, so we will be spoiling the whole book. This is a spoiler episode, so if you have not read The Someday Garden and you don't want it to be spoiled, I would circle back and go read it, come back. You can start at like 10 minutes in, but yeah, spoiler warning. I do think it's in the synopsis what you're going to spoil, but
So there's magic in this book. It's a magic garden.
I thought you were
And
going to talk about death.
well, the death is literally like in the first, I mean, the first chapter is kind of almost like a prologue, I think. And then the very first chapter, it's like, boom, my best friend's dead. And you're like, what? Because it starts off very cute, two best friends. I was actually thinking it's very like me and Kayla. One's on the West Coast, one's on the East Coast. I'm like, oh, this is so cute. Turn the page, boom, dead. I was like, what? Yeah, so wasn't expecting that.
It was the one on the West Coast that side, so it looks
It's
like
me.
I'm kidding.
But no, it was very cute, their friendship. And then it was also just very, like, we talked about this, I think, in one of our recent episodes. We talked about in The Shippers, how The Shippers by Catherine Sinner didn't have like a lot of emotional depth to it. And there's definitely a time and place for, just wanting something quick and easy and funny and whatever. But this, I was just like in the right headspace, I guess, for this book because it really struck me in a like very emotional way. I felt very just connected to the main character and her dealing with this grief and kind of the whole healing process. Like, I think I posted a TikTok video or a short where I was like, I feel like this book healed something in me a little bit, where it was just the way it was written was very beautiful. And yeah, and like just the symbolism with the garden, like healing the garden and healing something in herself. I just thought it was really beautiful.
I feel like it also calls you because I mean, you're really to main character, but also you love gardening too.
Too. The word horticulturist, I was like, am I a horticulturist? No, I am not.
Reading books like this where people have cool jobs, I'm like, why did I pick accounting? I don't get it.
I didn't even know horticulturist was a job. I didn't even know that was a word. So there you go.
Speaking of reading books where careers are cool, I just finished Person Forever by Lynn Painter. We were also gifted that. And finally, the main character is an accountant. She loves her Excel spreadsheets. I was like, I did feel seen in that book. Speaking of cool jobs. Although the one thing that got me was the main character, Duffy, in that book was annoyed when there was work gossip because it distracted everybody. And I was like, ooh.
I'm sorry, but that's what gets us through the day.
I was like, give me some work drama. I will eat that up. So my only whim there. But Someday Garden.
Yeah. No, it surprised me too because it is not I don't think it's the first book I've read where there was like magical realism within a romance book. I feel like that's this whole new trend where you're reading a romance and then all of a sudden there's magic. And you're like, wait a second, I thought this was a romance. And I never know how it's going to go because I'm someone who's kind of a little bit black and white. You either have magic and you're in a fantasy world with made up magic systems and governments and all that stuff, or you have real life. And so my brain, like merging the two, I'm always like, how is she going to end this? Like, how is she going to resolve this magical garden situation and give an explanation that satisfies me? And I don't actually remember what the explanation was, but I remember being satisfied at the end.
I think she just found the garden and he got out. But I think like there's some magic.
Yeah. Were you surprised by who she chose in the end? Because again, hopefully you've read the book, but there are kind of almost two love interests, kind of.
Yes, but also no. My only qualm, and I think my only issue with the whole book is I felt like the timeline of her falling for Gus seemed very rushed. It was like she woke him up in the in this park bench because each time was pretty much like 10-minute spans was like my gist. And it was like around the third or fourth time she's like in love with him. And I'm like, you've literally talked to him for maybe 20 minutes at this point. He was rude as heck the first day. The second day, he's like, I'm trapped, like, help me. And like, I don't know, I just felt like that didn't add up to me. Like, there was so much emotion and everything else of, like, her letting people into her life again. What's his grandmother's name? Even her connection with her made more sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Even her relationship with Dan, like, all of it made more sense. And also, I don't feel like her and Oliver had any chemistry at all.
Yeah.
Whenever she fell off the wall and, like, fell on him and, like, squashed him, I was like, no.
Yeah. So I was actually a little conflicted throughout the book about who I wanted her to be with, because I think I was having the same feelings you were having about, like, she's not really spending any time with Gus. So, like, how is she supposed to choose him ultimately? Like, you have to get to know someone. And also there was this sense of, well, what happens if she does rescue him from the garden? Will he even remember it? Because, like, he's trapped in a bit of a time warp where time's moving differently for him. And it's like, by the time he gets out, will time have kind of reset? Will he remember her? Will he just think she's that random girl he passed? And I don't know, I was kind of like, I feel like you could get to know this other guy who's real, who's not trapped in some garden, a little bit better. And, he was the first guy she met. And I mean, I won't say that for me they didn't have chemistry, because I do remember being like, oh, I kind of like him, I'm digging him. But I was concerned about the timing of her relationship with Gus. And in the end, she chooses Gus, and it all works out happily ever after, blah, blah, blah. But I do think it was almost like the romance, even though it's a romance, it was also kind of a side story, like, or in tandem with her healing. So it's not the whole plot of the book. Like, it's a big part of the book, but it's also just about her healing from Harry's death and, like, putting her life back together. So I think that's kind of how Ashley Poston's able to, like, satisfy it all in the end. Like, yes, she didn't spend 300 pages getting to know Gus, but it's also not really about her and Gus ultimately. That's just like a bonus.
Yeah, I think she could have taken Gus out and it still would have been a really good book. I feel like it was more of a love letter to her friend, to Harriet and herself, than a romance. And no, I really enjoyed it. Like, I liked it. I wouldn't call this a romance.
Honestly, same. I don't know what you call it. Maybe just contemporary fiction, or, magical realism contemporary fiction. It's definitely, like you said, you could take Gus out and the story would be just fine. Other than you would maybe need someone trapped in the garden, although do you? I don't know. Like, maybe you could have survived without anyone in the garden. But I thought the concept was cool. Like, oh, why is she the only one who stumbles across this garden door? And then, like I said, I wish I could remember how it resolved, where I was like, oh, it makes sense and I'm satisfied with the ending. Just because it is almost like, well, can I suspend my imagination to believe she's the only one who sees this door?
Because the door was behind the brick wall, because Eula bricked up everything that had to do with her late husband.
Yeah.
So she had to, like, get through the wall to get him out.
Yeah. Which I think is also kind of like symbolic or metaphorical for her working through her own kind of issues and whatever to get to the other side of her own healing journey.
And she was such a character too. Like, I feel like all the characters in this book were really great on their own.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great character development, a lot of growth, not just with the main character, but I feel like even down to Juliet, she even had a character development where she moved there when she was really lost, and then she falls for Oliver. Like, every character was unique in their own way and had their own story, and I really enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm.
Eula was so fun. Like, I did really enjoy her.
I hope to be a Eula when I'm that age. I hope I'm that cool.
And I also feel like the setting itself is its own character. Like, the garden itself is a character itself. Is this place exist? Like, can we go?
I don't know. It's in upstate Maine. We should look it up.
I just typed in Lilymore and it's an alpaca farm.
There's a Lilymore farm in New York.
Is it the alpaca one?
Yes.
A beautiful garden in Maine. The Maine Botanical Gardens. Yeah, I don't think this place exists, which is fine. I'll accept it. But it sounded magical. Like, this happened when I read My Perfect Storm. Like, the author described the scenery so well that it makes you want to go on vacation there. And this made me want to take a road trip with you to the gardens and walk around them. So, similar to when that time we took a train all the way upstate, took a ferry to go to a castle that was pretty much crumbled down.
Yeah, it was a little misleading to think we were gonna go like see a real castle, and then you couldn't get close to it because it was in shambles, crumbled. Like I was like, oh, cool, a lot of rocks. That's fun. Yeah, no, I would like to go like dress up and actually like see a castle. Like a real castle.
To also preface, to set the scene, Maria and Marissa wore dresses. And everyone else there was in like shorts and a t-shirt, like sightseeing this like a old castle. And me and Marissa were there for a photo shoot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We did get some cute photos. We got some cute photos, but yeah, no, other people were there dressed appropriately. And we were like, no, we want to wear dresses to this castle. And then you had to like hike up to it or something.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. We didn't do our research on that one. Also, I'm pretty sure I was boat sick. So I'm just like.
We also like, so we got all the way upstate. We like rent a hotel. The only way to get from the train station to a hotel is passing a highway. So we're just walking our little butts down a main highway.
Yeah. And
there was only one restaurant in town. It was like that steakhouse.
I know, it was kind of pricey too. And it was like, that was the only place you could go for food. And we were like, okay.
That hotel was really nice though. It was like right in the water.
It had that like babbling creek and like, yeah, it was very nice. No, I liked it. But I mean, we did not do our research about where we were going at all.
No, not at all. But it reminded me of this. And I was like, if me and Marissa just hopped in a car to go find a garden, it would be like, we would not luck out like they did.
No, I guess did Harriet and Sophie, they were on a road trip, and did they just stumble across Lilymore, or did Sophie like want to see it because she was into gardening? I can't remember.
No, they planned it. So they both connected over Lilymore because there was a documentary of Lilymore from many, many years ago. And Harriet liked it for like whimsy to write vibes. Like she wanted to write a story about it. And Sophie wanted to just study the plants. So it was like their connection.
Yeah.
What was actually, I think, the most heartbreaking was it that she died with a half book finished.
No, the whole Harriet dying, that was like very heartbreaking because she was so young and she still had so much life to live. And then didn't her husband, or maybe he was only her fiance, move on like within a year? He was engaged to someone else. And it's like, you get it, right? You do have to move on. Life goes on, but it's also like just so heartbreaking to think you have your whole life ahead of you, and then just like that one diagnosis changes everything.
No, if I was Sophie, I wouldn't have even answered him. Like, she sent like a nice answer back, and I was like, that is too nice for me. Like, that man moved on way too quick. I think I asked Tom this, like, while I was reading this. I'm like, what would you do if I died right now? I'm like, how long would it take you to move on? And he was like, can I not answer this?
Wow, Tom. Seriously? That tells us everything we need to know.
I actually don't know the answer either, though, because, like, I get it. Like, she died and, like, he moved on quick, but also, like, he's young, too. Like, he has his whole life. I don't know the adequate time to move on, especially now. Like, we're in our 20s, 30s.
Okay, but I want him to grieve me a little bit. Like, I think you could put on a show for at least a few years. Come on. The love of your life, dang it.
I know. But also, like, the biological clock is ticking.
It's also like, I feel like Eula, she had that one great love. And it's like that, the thought of that is just so beautiful. It would be so beautiful to have that one great love.
But you're dead.
And you don't care because you're dead. But I will come back and haunt you. Like, that's the thing. If I'm in a relationship with someone and he moves on, I am coming back to haunt him. Absolutely.
We're so dark.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Okay. I'm putting my thoughts aside. Maybe I'm going to try and be a bigger person. And maybe if I'm actually died and I'm actually a ghost, I would be pissed about this. But I would hope Tom waited a year and then he can move on.
Yeah. But not be engaged to someone else like within a year. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That was too soon.
That was too soon. He sounded like a jerk to begin with. But yeah, no. I mean, it's hard. I don't know what I would do if like you lose your fiance, because like you're 1 minute you're planning a wedding and you're planning your future, and then the next minute you're left alone. Honestly, I'd rather be the one that dies.
Yeah, definitely. I like I say this all the time. Like, if there's a nuclear war, put me right at the center of the blast. I don't want to survive that thing. I don't like, you see all these post apocalypse shows where they're running from zombies and having to survive. I'm not signing up for that. I want to go quick and I don't want to like deal with the aftermath. Like, that's not for me. So if someone has to die, I volunteer as tribute.
So speaking of apocalyptic shows and books, so apparently there's a book. It's a very boy-coded book. I feel like boy-coded books are going off this year, and it's called Dungeon Crawler Carl. And a while back, a coworker recommended this to me as an audiobook. They said the audiobook's really good. And I have been seeing it all over Goodreads, all over Fable. And I bought the ebook because me and Tom had a like 4-hour drive from San Fran to Yosemite on our trip. And I was like, oh, perfect. We'll listen to an audiobook together. Like, because I'm trying to get him more into reading, trying to force my hobbies onto him.
Yeah.
So
As
it
you
was
should.
like, perfect. We'll listen to it together. And I put on when I was driving, but the roads were like very like hilly, and I was getting nervous because I don't drive that much, so I couldn't pay attention. So then I just turned it off. But I bought the audiobook on Audible, so I still want to listen to it. But everyone's raving about this book. The premise of it is he like goes outside to get his like girlfriend's cat from a tree in the middle of the night. And while he's out there, every house that existed or any like building, anything, anyone in it just died and like everything sunk to the ground. And the people who are left standing are the ones who are like outdoors, like not inside anything. And then they have to go in the dungeon, and like each level, like it's like a video game, but like a book.
Okay. So literally, my friend was at a bookstore and saw this book, apparently read the synopsis, whatever. Later, me and her were at the bookstore. This is like, we were going to go to dinner, and we popped into a bookstore really fast just before dinner because we had some time. And we see it, and she goes, oh my gosh, Marissa, I think you would love this. And I read the synopsis, and I was like, what about this book do you think, says Marissa? Because it's like, it's very boy coded. It talks about like some random cat princess donut. And I was like, what about this reminds you of me? Because I feel very offended right now and feel like we need to change whatever image you have in your mind of who I am. But so it's funny that you're bringing it up because I'm like, wait, should we read this now? Like, is this popular? And like, was my friend right? Am I going to love it? But yes, no, boy coded books are going off. And I have a theory. I think it's because in 2026, boys finally learned to read.
I was wondering where you're going with that.
But yeah, like Project Hail Mary, Red Rising, Dungeon Crawler, Carl. Not that like girls can't enjoy any of these, but they're kind of boy coded. So I don't know what's going on, but maybe there's a spike in the male reading population.
I did see, I didn't really like look into it too much, but there was some posts on TikTok and Instagram of some guy going off saying like girls are not literate because all we read is smut or like some shit like that. Like always attacking us. And they were like recommending some like awful books that girls should read instead. And I'm just like, shut up.
Yeah. That's honestly like kind of that conversation when it happened at BookCon with Adeline Grace kind of made me an Adeline Grace fan. Like, I don't know anything about her. I don't know anything about her books, but she was basically like, let's swap the little signs at Barnes & Noble, the ones that say like romantasy, put that in front of Brandon Sanderson's books, put that in front of Pierce Brown's books. Like, why do we have a special label for female written fantasy books? Like, why do we have to call them romantasy? It's like, there's a conversation about what romantasy is, but it's also like, why do we have to diminish what women do or like create a separate category? Because men can't possibly enjoy Throne of Glass, obviously, which has hardly any romance in it. But anyway, it's just like, yeah, I was like, do I like you, Adeline Grace? Am I going to start reading your books? Because I agree.
Well, I'm just thinking about the fact that she had this, like, all of these thoughts on the intro to Romantasy panel.
Yeah. It was so funny that she's literally on a panel about romantasy and she's like, I hate that term.
It's actually so funny. But no, I think I will listen to Dungeon Crawler Carl on my walk. So I'm currently listening to the one we got that like is they hate each other. We have the 2 books. One's pink.
Yes, like the exquisite torment of loving your enemy or something like that, or hating your enemy.
Yes, I'm listening at my walks right now, and so that is my current walking book. But I think
it's
after
funny.
that,
Like I've also been kind of casually listening to it, and it's not anything deep or serious, but their banter is funny and kind of, it's good. It's a good listening book.
Yeah, the audiobook is really good. I feel like the guy's like voice is just like really funny. His like inner monologue is like so ridiculous. So I'm enjoying that, but I think I might dabble with Dungeon Crawler Carl afterwards.
Dude, get your dungeon crawler. I'm gonna have to learn to read before I can even say the title. Get your dungeon crawler Carl on whenever you feel like it.
So going back to the Sunday Garden, because we're all over the place this episode, but speaking of like magic romance books, I don't normally gravitate towards them because again, I'm like you, I like it like cut and dry, like this is romance, this is fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm fine with romance in my fantasy, but I like my romance without fantasy.
Yeah.
But during my Christmas reading challenge, I read, it was by BK Borison, and it was essentially like The Ghost of Christmas Past. I don't know if you've seen that movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was like, yeah, the ghost of Christmas that comes to her, and she's like actually a nice girl, and she's like, why are you here? I didn't do anything wrong. And they're like trying to figure out what she did wrong and everything like that. And I was like kind of like turned off by it. Like because I hate ghost books. Like I always beef with ghost books. And I kept on going to like the bookstore and I would read it, and I was like, I hate ghost books. But after I ran out of books to read on this challenge, so I just picked it up. And it actually surprised me, like it was pretty good. But one magic realism book that I really didn't like, and I'm gonna probably get hate for it, is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue.
Okay. I feel like that is fantasy, though. Well, I guess you're right. Maybe it is. It starts off to me very fantasy because I love that line that says, don't pray to the gods who only answer after dark. Oh gosh, I just like want that pinned to a board and like to be inspiration for whatever book I write. Like it speaks to me on some soul level. But so like, I feel like that it started off very fantasy coded, but you're right. It ends up in present day with present day modern technology and like stuff we recognize. But then there's that undercurrent of magic. I mean, she is magical. She's immortal or whatever. So I guess you're right. I feel like I view that more as fantasy. So like in my mind, I'm able to separate it, but it probably is magical realism. And I mean, if you don't like that genre, then yeah, you're not going to jive with that book.
Well, I just didn't like that book, and we did an episode on it, and I think I'm definitely like the ally here, but I hate that it just made me feel very like claustrophobic that she was just stuck in this life and she just like repeats herself all the time, and I'd lose my mind. But I was pleasantly surprised. I feel like the magic wasn't too much in this book. It was like a very tasteful amount of magic in it that it didn't overshadow the romance, make it like that believable. So like I think there's magic in the world. Like I don't know, and it was a nice like it was like good. Besides being locked in the garden, I guess that kind of sucks. But like the rest of it was like good kind of magic.
Yeah, if you were Gus, the book sucked. If you were anyone else, the book was pretty good.
Pretty much. I just Googled magic realism books. What is like top ones?
I'm gonna differ with you on this. I think I like a certain genre of magical realism because I really like Adrienne Young's books. She wrote The Unmaking of June Farrow or June Farrow. I'm not sure how to say the last name. And that was like, that would have been a 5 out of 5 for me. Other than the ending, I feel like there's this perpetual time loop that you are ultimately stuck in. And so I was like, ooh, I don't love that. But like the whole rest of the book, I was like, wow, I really like this. I really like The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. So like there's a level of magical realism I think I do enjoy. I just think when I pick up a book that's labeled romance and then it's like, but there's a magical door with a guy stuck inside. It's like, what? But what?
You're like, but it's okay.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, fine, but whatever, I'll go with it.
Yeah, it depends. It's funny, I wrote magic realism books, and Tomorrow came up, and you didn't like that book.
I hated that book. How is that magical realism? I don't remember it well enough. I just know it was about video games, and it was so boring. And I know I'm in the minority.
It was.
I'm in the minority on that. I know.
I wouldn't say that's magic realism. I think it was just written artsy.
Yeah. See, I would classify it as like contemporary fiction. I feel like that's the classification for when you write an artsy styled book.
Actually, so there's one author that I keep forgetting, and it is Rebecca Searle. Writes a lot of books with a little hint to magic.
She does.
I completely blocked it out, but I actually do like her books.
Well, I think she does it well. Just like I keep reaching for the Someday Garden, but I forget Lysandra has my copy. But I think Ashley Poston did this book really well. And I think Rebecca Searle does hers really well. I think for me, they're the outliers because I've read others where I'm like, I don't like this crossover. Like, I don't want the magic. Even this one, like the Dead Romantics, where it's about a ghost, but it's set in modern day. And it's like, I don't know if I like that. So like for me, the Someday Garden was an exception to the rule, and Rebecca Searle, same thing.
Yes. The one book that has stayed with me, I read it in January and I still think about it, is The Expiration Date. And that one, before every date she ever goes on, she gets a piece of paper with how long that relationship's going to last. So she'll get like a couple days, couple months, like couple years. So it was so good. Another one of hers that sticks with me is In 5 Years. So she had a dream of what her life will look like in 5 years, and it was completely different than what her life was currently like. Like, crazy things were happening, and she was like, what the hell? And that one was really good. You didn't like One Italian Summer, but I really think you should read In 5 Years, because that was wild.
Yeah, you've recommended it before. I didn't love One Italian Summer. I just remember the mom and daughter having too close of a relationship for my level of comfort. So like for me, that was like, it was hard for me to get past that. But it's like everyone is so different, and the things that gross me out or like the things that I don't love, like other people love. Literally one of the shorts I posted about Any Trope But You, I titled it, My Negative Review Might Make You Want to Read This, because it's like something I don't like very much about that book, I know is so popular in another subgenre of readers. So it is interesting the way like we gravitate towards certain things, and random things from our childhood are going to be like, make us dislike something, and you just have no idea till you read it. And then you're like, oh, I didn't like that.
We can still blame Twilight on Marissa being unable to like a love triangle.
You know what? We're not to the game yet that we're going to play. I think I like a love triangle. I don't know. I say I hate them, but I think I'm wondering if I secretly like them and I'm just in denial.
I don't know if I love them. Like, I think back to The Summer I Turned Pretty, and like that was just like gross.
Well, that was brothers. Of course that was gross.
I'm watching Love Island UK right now, and this one girl was with this one guy, and then it was like a whole thing where another girl dumped her so she could be with that guy. So she like got sent to another villa, and then she comes back with the brother of the guy, and I'm like, are we getting The Summer I Turned Pretty again?
Oh my gosh.
I just find it weird.
What's that adult version of The Summer I Turned Pretty? Isn't that the Carly Bestone book or Carly Fortune or Sarah it got turned into a show.
The one we're reading for book club?
Yeah, yes, I think so. Yeah.
I'm actually blanking on the entire plot. There's a reason we're reading it. I actually saw a lot of negative feedback on that show, but that book was good.
I heard the book was good, but people are marketing it, or from what I've seen, they've said it's just adult version of The Summer I Turned Pretty. So I just assumed it was two brothers again fighting over the same girl.
No, and I'm not going to give it away, but
okay.
I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
I think it's a little different.
Okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
Okay, so overall, do you want to play the game now? I guess before we do the game, let's give this book a rating. So I give this book a 4-star. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really beautifully written. I really liked all the characters. The only reason it's not 5 stars, I just feel like the love story was a bit rushed.
Yeah. I feel like, so for me, I'm pretty sure after I finished it, I gave it 5 stars. I feel like for what it was, it's 5 stars. However, if you're going into it thinking it's a romance, I would say it's not a 5-star romance. It's a 5-star contemporary fiction. So if that helps anyone at all, like it has romance in it, but that's not the main plot, in my opinion, personally.
Okay. Do we want to get into our game?
Okay, we can get into our game. This is called Plant It, Prune It, or Compost It. Okay, this is garden themed. So plant it means we want more of it in books. Prune it means we want to keep it in books, but like have less of it. And compost it means get rid of it completely. We're done, out with the old, gross. So I've got a list of literally like just words, like little words, and you have to either plant it, prune it, or compost it.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. Secret gardens, magical realism,
prune it,
love triangles.
See, it's not like a deal breaker for me. I just don't love it. So I'll do prune it because I don't want to hate it. Like I can't like throw out.
I already know what you're going to say for this one. Small town settings.
Oh, Plant It.
Plant
I love a
It.
small town romance. I don't know why I live in New York.
Yeah, but like where you live in New York gives small town, and I like that. It's
been so small town coded recently. I went to an event on Monday, which was yoga, lobster rolls, and margaritas, and it was like $55 for all of it. And I knew nobody walking in. I went there in the intention of making friends. Oh, it was also only girls, and everyone was so nice. I met so many great people. Like, it was just such a vibe, and I'm like, I love this place. And then I walked home with my yoga mat, got my steps in. It was like a beautiful day. I heard the beach. I heard the waves as I did yoga. I was like, this is just so nice. And then they just came out with the summer concert series where they have free concerts on the beach. So this is very small beach town coded. That's why I am like full beach this summer. Like, so I told Marissa this. I got this shirt from Etsy. I believe the shop is Madeline Amelia Designs, and I can tag it, but it's like beachy but bookish. I got these also from Etsy.
cute.
I like Talia Oceans. I'll also tag this, but like I've been Googling Etsy on like beachy items, and I'm just buying beach stuff because this is the vibe. But yeah, okay, back to the game.
Yeah, no, I love it. And honestly, if you weren't in a healthy, loving relationship, I would wish for a small town romance for you, but it's too late. You're settled down. Dang it. Okay. This one is really funny. Do you want to plant, prune, or compost dead best friend backstories?
I'm gonna compost it.
Yeah, I was like, what even is that? Okay.
I would say my favorite dead best friend book though is Ready or Not by Cara Stone though.
Okay. Something to add to the list.
If I had to pick a book in that genre, although I'm composting it because I don't really want my friends to die, it's Ready or I think it's Ready or Not.
That's a very healthy thing to feel, to not want your best friends to die. So I second that. How do you feel about time slips or time loops?
Wait, it's not Ready or Not. What is it? It's Promise Me Sunshine. Sorry. I wanted to quote the right book.
You're good.
Okay, go back. What were you going?
I feel like we're in a time loop, actually.
Trash it. I hate time loops. They're my least favorite plot ever. Like, ever.
Okay, can I just say something? I think I agree. But then I am also attracted to books where, like, the people keep having to relive their love lives. Like there's this book by Lauren Kate, the Fallen series, and literally every time the girl realizes she's in love with her soulmate, she dies and has to start over. And like, I ate that up in high school. Like, that was my thing. So like, I think I hate time loops, but do I?
No, that's my worst nightmare. And actually, you've hyped up that Falling series to me before, and you just took it off my list. Like, it's gone.
You would hate it so much.
And I said it wrong. I compost it. I don't trash it. I compost it.
Very good. Very environmentally friendly.
Yes.
Okay. How do you feel about fate or soulmate themes?
Plant it.
I don't feel like there were any talking plants in the Someday Garden, but for whatever reason, that's on my list.
Wouldn't want a talking plant, but I would support like someone else having a talking plant. I do think like when I was in Yosemite, we went to see the giant sequoias, and those trees are like massive, and you like feel like an eeriness there. And I was telling Tom, I'm like, I feel like trees have souls, and he kind of looked at me like I was a little odd, but like, I don't know, I kind of do. And he goes, if you die, would you want to be he's like, what kind of tree would you want to be? And I was like, I guess I'll be a giant sequoia because they're really big, but
get upset with myself anytime I have to prune my garden and I have to apologize to the plant, even though like pruning is good for the plant. I'm like, I'm so sorry, Snip. I'm so sorry. I'm sure it's painful, Snip. Because like, I agree. Like, surely the plant feels that. Surely it knows, and it's painful, right? I feel like it is.
To think so. I mean, I don't know, but you know, the giant sequoias were close to me. Like, honestly, felt very magical to me, and they were just so large. So I felt the vibes of the Someday Garden there.
Yeah. I feel like in books when the main character like feels like she can hear the trees whispering or like feels that energy, I'm very here for it. Like, I feel main characters who are connected to the earth are special. So I'm with you. Okay. Third act breakups.
I hate them when I see them coming. I guess Prune.
Okay. I feel like a lot of romances have third act breakups because it's like it has to, if things are going well, it has to happen, right?
Yeah. And sometimes like I like the happy part. Like, I like reading the happy part, so I'm okay with it. Like, I kind of hate when I get to end of a romance and they're still not together and they finally get together and it's like, okay, bye, we're done.
Epilogue.
Yeah, so I prune it. It
Okay.
has to be done right.
I'm curious on your answer on this one. Dual timelines.
If it's done right, prune it.
Yeah, agreed. Found family.
Plant it.
I know what this one's going to be. Coastal Maine settings.
Oh, plant it.
Okay. I have a grand finale question for you. This is a real...
Is it going to get me in trouble?
No, this is just like a in your whimsical, wildest fantasy. A mysterious door appears in your house and leads to one fictional world. Where are you going?
Ooh. As much as I would say Terracin, because I like Throne of Glass better, the world doesn't sound as nice as Velaris. So I would go to... Am I saying that right? Velaris?
Valaris.
Oh my god. I'm going to cancel.
No, it's fine because it just shows you've read the book, right? Like literally, who the hell is Rhysand? Because in my mind, he's Rice. His name is Rice, okay?
Go to Valaris because I don't think Terracin is built to the likings that I like to live in.
Honestly, in some ways, I feel like Valaris is the only safe place to go. Like I was thinking about this when I read the question. You can't go to the world of Red Rising. You will die. You can't go to the world of Hunger Games. You will die. You can't go to the world of Shield of Sparrows. Either a monster will kill you or you'll get Lysa and you'll die. Like, it's like every fantasy world I think of, I'm like, wait, no matter where I go, I am going to die. But Valaris is described as like very peaceful, like a nice town, low crime. I'm like, is that the only place I can go? Because I'm kind of thinking it is. And I love mountains, so.
I do love mountains. I have a plan B.
Okay.
And it is Harry Potter.
Yes. Yes.
I forgot about that.
Sign me up for Lord Voldy. Yeah.
Yeah. He's gone.
I would love a magical school. That would be like the one place. So really any place with a magical school where I am not a gargoyle, I'm on board with.
Yeah, I could be like a nice professor. I feel like I'd have lots of fun. The robes would be really fun. So yeah, I could vibe in either places. And please don't cancel me for pronouncing that wrong. Honestly, it's been a while since I read them and I read the book, so I'm awful at pronunciation. I did not listen to them.
Yeah. Well, like, even though I know his name is Rhysand, when I read the books and it's just Rhys, I'm like, that's Rice. That's obviously Rice. Feyren Rice.
I think I still read it Rice in my head. Like, it's just like the way I read so many things wrong in my head.
My favorite, though, actually I have two favorites for mispronunciations, is not mispronunciations, purposeful misspellings. When I was like big in TikTok, no one referred to Tamlin as Tamlin. He was always tampon or like some random T word. And then the other one is Renesmee. No one refers to her as Renesmee. It's like Rasputin or Renegade or whatever. And I'm like, okay, I can get on board with both of those. Those are funny.
Well, I have one more final question for you. Plant, prune, or compost your fiance getting over your death in less than a year?
Wait, compost and come back and haunt the crap out of him, turn it into a horror book, because absolutely not. I'm not even in a relationship, but that is not going to happen. Absolutely not. Fight me.
Okay, on that note, I think we should wrap it up here.
Perfect.
Thanks for listening. This is Kayla.
And Marissa.
And make sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, at Booktalks Podcast. Hit subscribe and make sure to join our book club on Fable. Have a good day.